So while we are waiting for others to join, please can you mute yourself as we are moving with the parents. I mean, with this HR.
No, I think it's two. I did one before.
Please, sir. Can you mute
that one.
You are disturbing the class. Please, can you mute yourself?
This is this week, sir.
Please, it was this week.
Master Abdul, you can mute him, please. Can just mute everybody from your setting, so that nobody will be able to interrupt our call, please.
Okay, no problem.
You can mute him and.
Okay,
no problem. No problem, sir. Okay.
So, I think the needful. I've done the needful.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Please, let's try and mute ourselves, please. I've been trying to mute all, but it's not really showing that. Okay, I think we can continue now. Now, like I said the other time, that you can create a captivating story about human resources depending on any niche you find yourself within the HR space. You can have your own blog, though it might take time, but on the long run, it will pay off because people will respect you and they will know you to be an expert in your area, in your career path. I also made mention of Pechakucha. Yes, it's part of what we do during the course of our master's class training. How can you present using your PowerPoint, using Pechakucha approach, a 20 slides, 20 seconds slides, and you present within 6 minutes plus. So there's a way to that. We keep that for other time. Now, after you have been able to do this, it is not all about having these skills alone. You need to make money. You need to be able to sell yourself. Having the skills is not something that you keep to yourself. Yes, you should be able to share with others. You should be able to let people know, oh, this is what I do, this is what I can offer. So that is why you need a portfolio. You should have a portfolio either on GitHub or your Google Drive. Show people things you have done before. What problem have you realized in HR space? What type of data do you extract? When you analyze the data, what are the insights? What can you recommend from this data? So this is what the analytics portfolio will help you do. And when you're applying for any job, you share the link in your resume and people will be like, wow, this is making sense. And I can't lie to you, irrespective of any HRS software you are using in your company, if you don't have background to all this we have tried to mention, you will only be crushing the data, filling those data. You will not really be able to make impact with the data. It should just be like what any secondary school student can do, like enter this data there, download something, fill in the form. But being able to make sense out of this data, it is when you're able to exploit all what we have mentioned since morning. And mind you, if you go on LinkedIn, there are several jobs offer that specify HR analysts. They will specify it specifically that they need an HR analyst. And most of these jobs, they're international jobs. So most of the jobs, please kindly mute yourself. Most of the jobs are international jobs. You can go on LinkedIn and check this. So you should be able to get your first job after you have acquired these skills. Sell yourself. Let it reflect in your resume. Let it reflect even in your cover letter when you write. Let them know that you don't talk, it's not like a vague statement. When you talk with reference, figures from somewhere. Maybe you quote a kind of bulletin, figures in a particular bulletin, that's so percentage of people. So people will respect what you're saying. I can say that everybody attending this class can hear me is a vague statement. But if I said 5 or 7 out of everybody in this class can hear me, I'm making a kind of quantitative message, which anybody can relate to. But if I'm just saying that almost everybody in this class can hear me now, it's not quantitative. You can't really connect the dots, like almost everybody. At what level? How many people? But if I said 7 out of every 10 people you select in this class can hear me clearly, so it is quantifiable. Everybody can relate. Okay, if 7 people can hear you, yeah, that's good. At least maybe those 3 people, due to maybe technical issue or some other things, that's why they couldn't hear you. So these are the kind of things that is required of a data analyst. So in this class today, I will go back to the first step where we shall look into them one after the other, especially starting from the Microsoft Excel. I will explain the worksheet, the workbook, and I will go on and on like that till where the time permits us. But for in case of those of us that will be interested in the MasterCard, where all this will be explained in detail, practical examples, and hands-on skills with a data set just like this, using this kind of data set to make analysis, to create a dashboard, to do a kind of pivots, and a lot of things embedded of such. So if you are interested in that, I will drop a link after the class for us, or you can also message me through the WhatsApp link for details. And in this class, in this intensive class, hello.
Yes, please. We have some people's mics that are still on. I think it's just called their names. Fidelia Igede, Oladapo Olubade, and Obani Miriam. Please kindly mute your mic. Thank you.
Please, because we have a large number of people, that's why I couldn't really have time to like look into those people. Please, please, for God's sake, it is required of any online, even if it is your company's organization team meeting online. Please always mute yourself. When you talk, when you need to talk is when you should mute. Please, please, for God's sake. Now, in continuation of my previous trying to chip in terms of what we have in store for the intensive masterclass, we don't only talk about this Excel of a thing. We only go as far as Google Sheets. How can you create an automated job recruitment form? How can you create an online quiz for your applicants to take, where you receive the answer from the back end and you don't need to grade them. It's going to be automatic. And when you can use your PowerPoint for your presentation. So this part 2 is a kind of training I do on its own. But for the purpose of people that attend this class today, it's going to be an addition if you are participating in the next cohort of the intensive HR Analytics Masterclass. So we shall talk more about that towards the end of the class. So let's go into the business. Let's start with the Microsoft Excel. So I think this is more of explanation, which I've explained earlier. The computation will come later than when you have been able to familiarize with how to use your Microsoft Excel. So one of the advantages of this class is you will not only know about HR analytics, you'll be able to use your Microsoft Excel as part of the Microsoft suites, the Microsoft Word, the Microsoft PowerPoint, the Outlook, your OneDrive, and Microsoft Excel. So these are essential package in Microsoft suites that is expected of you as an HR manager. So if you are fresh in HR space, you need to have this skill. It's a must. Anywhere in the world, it is expected you have this. You should be able to use Word very well. You should be able to use Microsoft Excel. You should be able to use Outlook. You should be able to use OneDrive. You should be able to use PowerPoint. So in order not to diversify, we're going to start with our Microsoft Excel, which is only related to this class today. So Microsoft Excel, we are all aware what Microsoft Excel is a package in Microsoft skill that is meant for, is a spreadsheet where you can have your data entry, you can analyze your data and have a lot of stuff done there. So I've clicked on this plus sign to have a new worksheet. You can see it was labeled sheet 1. So anytime you click on plus sign, anytime you open a Microsoft Excel and you click on plus sign, you will see something that will be written like plus sign, name sheet 1. So when you click on that plus sign, you can have a new sheet. So this is a new sheet. The whole of what I've just opened is called a workbook. So in a workbook, you can have several worksheets. I think this concept of people making noise, it's becoming unbearable. Please give me a few minutes to look into how to mute everybody, please. It's like people are not really good. People are not really good at using online.
I suggest you just check.
And it's fine. I can understand of where we find ourselves. I've tried to mute everybody, but I don't know why it's not working through the way I want it to.
Yes, I'll suggest you kick them out of the call because it seems they're not here to learn. They're just here to distract people that are here to learn. Just kick them out of the call. When they're ready to come back, then let them come back. But it doesn't make sense.
Someone said I should make her a co-host. She's going to meet all of them.
That'll be perfect.
Please. Okay, I think that's fine, Mr. Faladi.
Okay,
you can
but
make
I must see Miriam.
Check your settings. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you are now co-host, but I must see Miriam. Please, can you do that? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I must see Miriam. I've made you the co-host. Have you done that, please? But I must see Miriam. You are now a co-host. You can do the needful, please.
Yes.
We can still hear some background noise. Though. Have you done that? Please let's know when you are.
I don't think I'm a co-host. I'm not yet a co-host yet. I'm not a co-host yet. I'm not. Hello.
And I've done that. I've done that. You can check.
It's actually still showing you as the host. There's no co-host yet.
And I click on your name and I see host and co-host. And I click on that. Oh, someone said, Oluwafumilola said you cannot have a co-host in the free version of Zoom. Wow. But actually, I was able to see an option like that to make add host and co-host, and I was able to do that. So I just click on add. Okay, I think let's manage the situation, please. I will try and look into people. Henceforth, if I see anybody, I will go through the chat. If I see anybody that is not muted, I'm going to remove that person automatically. Do we agree on that?
Yes.
If you don't mute yourself, I will remove you automatically. Yes. So everybody, please, let's mute ourselves.
Yes.
So I've just removed one person now. I think there is a decorum. Just send a message on chat. No, don't talk, please. Just send a message on chat. If you are enjoying that there's a decorum, everything is silent, just send a message on chat. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay, let's back to the business. Like I've said earlier, we're going to start with our Microsoft Excel, and that is what we're starting with. In the Microsoft Excel, we have the worksheet and the workbook. What you are seeing is a worksheet. You can see it labeled as sheet 1. If I want to name it, I will just left double click. Once I left double click, you will see that there's something that is blinking on that sheet name. As it is blinking, I will just backspace. I will press backspace and I will see something blinking. It will erase the name worksheet. I can now write the name of the sheet I want to put there. So I can put HR Analytics. So I've been able to label this new sheet as HR Analytics. So this is how to have a new sheet in a workbook and label it. It's very straightforward. Let me do one again. I will click on this plus sign. Adekemi, you will be removed. Everybody unmute yourself, please. Check your speaker. Make sure it is crossed with a red line. So like I've explained earlier, when you have a workbook, in the workbook, you can have different worksheets. This is a worksheet, introduction. This is a worksheet, HR Analytics. This is a worksheet, sheet 2. This is a worksheet, employee data. This is a worksheet, descriptive statistics. So they are labeled. So if you want to name any sheet, just need to press the plus sign. Once you press the plus sign, double click, left double click, press backspace, and put the name you want. Let's say you want to say HR staff. It is allowed. So that is how to create a worksheet in a workbook. The whole of what you are seeing is a workbook. Inside it, we can have as many worksheets. And in every worksheet, we have rows and column. Rows and column. What I clicked is row. All this label, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, that's alphabet, English alphabet. The vertical arrangement down, just like the way it rains down, that is called vertical column, VC, vertical column. Someone is writing on the sheet. Please stop writing. We have vertical column. We also have horizontal row, HR, vertical column. Anything that is vertical, just the way I'm clicking now, it is called column. Column H, column I, column J, column K, column L. These are vertical, and it is called columns. VC, vertical column. Horizontal row. You can see number 1, number 2. These are called row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on like that. They are called rows. Horizontal row, vertical column, horizontal row, vertical column, horizontal row. So these are the things we need to take note of. The vertical arrangement is column and the horizontal arrangement is row. In every worksheet, you will always have this column and row. You will always have the column and row. And I'm happy to tell you that Excel has 16,384 columns. And I don't think you can exhaust that. 16,384 columns. How do I know that? So everybody, let's play. Let's catch fun and learn. You put your cursor on A1. You can see everywhere you put your cursor is a cell, which is the intersection of a column and a row number. This is column A, row 1. That is why when I put my cursor here, you can see A1. If I put cursor here, you can see it is telling me it is D9, meaning column D, row 9. How can I know the number of columns in a Microsoft Excel? I will put my cursor here, press Shift and Control on your keyboard, press Shift and Control. I expect if you are with your Microsoft Excel, you should have opened it sideways and follow me accordingly. This class is practical, it's hands-on. It's not talk alone. It's for you to have some basic skills, for you to understand the basics. So you press Shift and Control keyboard, press the right arrow on your keyboard. There's an arrow up, down. So there's an arrow up, down, right, left. So you need to press the right arrow. After you have pressed Shift and Control, don't remove your hand from Shift and Control. If you don't remove your hand and you press right arrow, it will highlight the way you are seeing it. And you will see this 1R, meaning row 1. Now remove your hand from the Shift Control, press 1. When you press 1, you will observe that that one will only appear at A1 cell. Make sure you don't tamper with anything. Make sure you are seeing what is on the screen now. If you are seeing something contrary, start over again. Put your cursor on A1 first. Press Shift Control right arrow. It will extend to the end. Now remove your fingers from the Shift Control. Press figure 1 on your keyboard, which is what I'm having now. Once you do that, press Control Enter. Control Enter. Press Control and Enter at the same time. I've done that from my side. You can see that the one I typed was replicated across that row. And I was able to see at the down, there are some things you can see there. Average 1, count 16384. 16384. And I was able to see some 16384. That is how I got to know that in an Excel, I will have 16,384 columns. It's like me counting ABC by myself. Now imagine the number of hours I will spend before I will be able to count 16,384. But with a very short cut, I was able to know the number of columns in an Excel spreadsheet. I challenge you to use the same method to know the number of columns, the number of rows, and type your answer in the chat box. Follow the same procedure, but let me help you with that. I will always put you through. You will tell me what you get. Put your cursor on A1, press Shift Control. Hope you are writing this in your jotter. This is a class. Don't assume it's a free class. It's a real class. And you'll be happy you are spending your time in this class at this moment, if I'm not mistaken. So press Shift Control together after you have put your cursor on A1 and press down arrow. It will highlight that column 1 down. I hope you can do that. Please use your chat box if you have been able to do that. You put your cursor on A1, you press Shift Control down. Nice. Now press 1. If you press 1, the A1 will also have 1, just like the first case of number of columns. Then press Shift Control. So once you have been able to press 1, press Control Enter. You can see on your keyboard, Control Enter. If you press Control Enter, it will highlight and replicate that 1 into all the cells in that column. And can you type the number of rows we have in Excel now? Yes, I want to see it at the chat box. So how many rows do we have in Microsoft Excel? So if someone should ask you, what did you learn in this class this afternoon? Say, that boy talks about the rows and columns in an Excel. He made mention of some HR analytics metrics we need to know and what we need to do to monetize our skills as an HR person. So what do you now call the number of rows and the number of columns? So you should be able to say that with confidence. So what is the number of rows? Let me check the chat box. Let me check the chat box. Okay. People have been trying. So more people do it. I like feedback. Don't mind me. I like to make it interactive. That's why I always like everybody to contribute. Okay. Very good. Very good. Fantastic. People are getting it right. So we have 1,048,576. So that is the number of rows you have in an Excel spreadsheet. Hope this is interesting. It might look like a play, but even some people are using Excel for more than 10 years. They don't even know this. It is this knowledge that makes us know that we should be able to know the capacity of what Excel can do in terms of handling a data set. If you have a data that is more than this capacity of 16,384, 1,048,576, Excel might not be able to absorb such a data. That is why we have a lot of other data analysis tool pack, like Python, like R. Those ones, they are meant for big data. They can take a terabyte capacity of data. However, there is nothing you want to learn in those software that you cannot learn in Excel. That is why having a very good knowledge of Excel is essential, not only for an HR profession, irrespective of your profession. I just published a book, it's now on Amazon. You can remind me or send me a chat after the class. Learn and Earn with Microsoft Excel for data analysis in 7 weeks. The book is very comprehensive. I explain the details of what you need to be able to, irrespective of your career path. So using Excel is very, very essential. Even in academics, we use Excel. After you have conducted your survey, you administer your questionnaire, you need to you put it in. Please, we need to rejoin in the next 10 minutes for the continuation. So you are expected to be able to I can enter my data by myself, clean that data, put it maybe into SPSS, any other software you feel like, and you can even analyze the data using your Excel. So Excel is very, very powerful. I can't lie to you. You can't do without Excel. You can't do without Excel, no matter how. And that is a double opportunity for whoever is taking this class up to the master's class level. Now, we have been able to look at the number of rows and the number of columns. The next thing we need to do, based on what we have created in our curriculum, we have been able to establish the worksheets and workbook. We have seen the rows and the columns and cell. This is the formula I've just shared that we've just used, the shortcut, Shift Control down, Shift Control right, you press 1 and Control Enter. This will help you to be able to get the number of rows and the number of columns. Let's move forward to headers in HR data. Now, you need to be able to know what is an elder. Headers, not elder, rather. Headers, I mean. What do I mean by headers is when you want to start data entry, you can't just start anyhow. You should be able to know what are the key things you need to do. What are those things that are very important that you need to do? What are the key things you need to do? And as a result of this, you will need to have some label. Maybe now you want to make a kind of recruitment and you want to send out some Google form to people. Out of those things you need is the name, first name. You need their first name, the name of the applicant. Anytime you want to do that, after typing, you press tab. It will take you to the next. You need their last name. You might not really need their middle name. You type. Maybe you need their date of birth, DOB. Maybe you need their, let's say, gender, the position they're applying for. So all this information, their salary expectation, all these are necessary information which you need during the recruitment process. It could be more than this. I'm just taking this as an example. All these things, they are called headers. Let me bold it using B. They are called headers. If you are filling the name of someone now, let's say for me, my first name is Abdullah. My last name is Falade. Let's say my DOB is 22/3/1980. My gender is male. My position as a data scientist. Data scientist. That spelling is not correct. That spelling of scientist. Scientist. Yep. And maybe it's my salary expectation. Don't mind me, I just put it there. Maybe I expect this on a salary expectation. So I've been able to feel I'm an observation. I'm one of the applicants. This is my particulars. I was able to fill my particulars because I already have headers. I know where each parameter should belong. If I have another applicant, I will do the same. Let's say I have someone called Miriam with surname Badamosi. Maybe the person's date of birth is, let's say, 12th of August, 1987. And the gender of the person is female. Maybe the person is an HR manager. And the salary expectation of that person is around maybe 1 million naira. Don't let me look like I'm selfish. Let's put it 2 million naira. So Karamosi Miriam, salary expectation 2 million naira. Yeah. So I can continue filling this form, but there's a better way to do this. That's what I'm trying to do. So there is a command you can use that will look like you are doing magic. And that is Alt-Do. And that is what I've just done now. Alt-Do. You can see I press Alt-Do and it gives me something like a form, which I can continue adding my data. The way I'm feeling it, I might be stressed up like, this stress is too much, Jerry. If you use Alt-Do, you will be able to continue in this form. What I just need to do is to press New, another person's name. Let me look at a name from this class. Adewumi Oladipo. Let's say Wumi is the first name, followed by Oladipo. Maybe the DOB is 23rd of October, 90, let's say 1935, or let me use a kind of date like that. 1982, gender, female, position, let's say the person is an accountant. And the salary expectation, maybe the person wants 3 million naira. Immediately I pick new, it will enter it here, and I can put another person's data. And with that, I can continue with my data entry. So this is one of the skills you are learning in this class, how to enter your data, how to enter any details into Excel spreadsheets. Someone is trying to raise a hand. Oh, someone asked for that, the command. I will put it now. I will put it, don't worry. It is Alt-Do. Alt-Do. Alt on your keyboard. Alt, D, and O. Alt-Do. That's the shortcut. Once you're able to fill like 1 or 2, use Alt-Do. It will show you a filling form format, and you can continue your data entry with that. So someone said, can I explain again? Yes, I'm happy to explain again. So what I did is I make sure I was able to